all the time, why are bad things happening to us? Like, if He's good and we're praying all the time, heal my mom, you can make her better, why doesn't He answer them? You know, it's been how many years and He's not listening? And we were very angry. Honestly, it didn't match up what they were saying about God and what we were experiencing. So, to be honest, we were very angry, and we didn't want to have anything to do with this good God. But one day, funny enough, we went to a church camp. And at this church camp, something happened, and it's really hard to explain it in words, but as we were praying, we experienced how real God was. And for the first time we realized, wow, He is real, He's alive, and we just felt like He knew what we were going through. He knew that we were struggling, that we were suffering, and I felt like He was saying, I love you, I love Sonia, I love your mum, and I've got this under control. Just trust me, guys. And then this sense of peace came over us, and we got it. That was the camp that we gave our lives to Christ, and we've been walking with Him ever since. And, you know, after 7 years of battling cancer, what happened was my mum ended up in hospital, and the doctor broke the news to us, and he said that she only had 3 weeks to live. And like 3 weeks is really not a long time if you think about it, and you think about your mom who's known you, gave birth to you. You know her, she knows you, she loves you, and she's not going to be around in 3 weeks' time. And for us, we were 15 years old at the time. It was really just tough for us to accept that. I think even if it was something that was on our minds, for it to really be a reality in front of us, it was very hard to deal with. And but what we experienced at this camp, it was weird. Like we prayed, just knowing this God was real, it gave us enough peace. And we said, God, if you are real, and if what we encountered was real, then God, help us to get through this. Give us enough peace not to cry, because we could have stopped crying. Well, just help us to feel joyful and just see the good in this. And that was exactly what He did. Immediately He took away our pain, He took away the sadness, and we were able to enjoy that last week that we had with our mum. She didn't even live to 3 weeks. She actually, she passed away in 3 days. And so we remember this last conversation that we had with her. One day she was like, Janice and Sonia, come here, I have something to say. So we're like, what has she got to say? And we sit next to her, and she says, you need to rejoice. I'm like, what? Is she crazy? How are we supposed to rejoice in a situation like this where my mum is about to pass away and everything's so sad? And she told us to rejoice. And she said, don't ever blame God for what you go through. It'll be hard, but don't blame Him, rejoice. And we didn't quite get it. And then there was one moment that I'll never forget about my mum. This was the last memory we have of her. Just before she passed away, this is when her body was shutting down. She had no strength. She couldn't breathe properly. She couldn't eat anything. She couldn't speak. And she started singing, basically worshipping. And when this song came on, she raised her hand and she was smiling this huge smile. And she was like, God, I'm here, take me. And she was so joyful. And we thought, wow, that's what it means to be joyful. And so we just want to share that song with you guys because it was so special to us. It's a Korean song, and in English it says, Lord, here I am, my heart, my body, I give it to you. Use me as you want. Hallelujah. 주님 내가 여기 있사오니 나를 써주소서. 나의 맘 나의 몸 주께 드리오니 주 받으옵소서. 주님 내가 여기 worshipping like that. And that's how she passed away on January 2002. And so we are sharing this story with you guys, not to make you sad, but we really believe that even in such a grieving struggle like that, God brought us joy and He pulled us through it. And you know, watching our mum pass away, she wasn't even 40, she was so young, but we realised, wow, life is so short, it's so fragile, and you just don't know when it's going to come to an end. And so we made a conscious decision, Janice and I were like, what are we going to do for the rest of our lives? I'm not going to waste my life. So we decided to do music because we have a huge passion for music, and we just love coming and doing this with you guys, meeting you guys, just blessing you guys with our songs. And that's why we share this every single time we do gigs, and I'm sure some of you guys have already heard it, but we really hope that it's blessed you today. This next song that we want to sing is it's actually